Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get ready to go ahead and publish our character into the animation rigging toolkit so it will be usable with the control rig that comes with it. One thing I did forget to mention though was that the cloth, for something I have like for this guy here, I weighted it to 100% to the pelvic bone, and the reason I only give it 100% to one bone and no influence from anything else is because the way Apex cloth is going to work is it's going to look for that bone as its hinge point. And from the hinge point, it's going to have, the rest of these bones are going to act as colliders. When we get ready to do the Apex cloth, I'll be showing you that. I'm going to be doing two different videos for that. One's going to be simple and one's going to be for the character. So just keep a lookout for that. So we'll go ahead and we're going to get ready to go ahead and publish this guy out. Like, as far as I can tell, everything's working just fine. All his skin weights are good. I've saved out all of his skin weight templates. And on top of that, we also have a reveal we can do for a helmet, which is awesome because I didn't have that function before. So should be good to go. I got a little bit of a hiccup going on that side and the leg, so I'll probably have to skin that out later. So once you feel that your character is where it needs to be in terms of skinning information, you can go ahead and build the control rig. And from here it's going to ask you to select your project. Here you can make any kind of file that you need. Like for myself, I ended up doing a file for my characters or ones that I ended up rigging up and making. And you can add a new folder from this side, and character name can be inserted down here, and just go ahead and do a build. I'm going to overwrite the one that currently exists, and I want to overwrite the thumbnail for him. This will give you a thumbnail that will appear up in the corner of your animation rigging controls. So if you hold down Alt and you left click, you should be able to pan the camera. You can rotate it out. I'm usually going to do it with the profile shot for this guy. I'm going to go ahead and get the picture taken. And we have an unknown nodes and data issue going on. So because we saved out all of our skinning information, we're going to need to go backwards through our process and rebuild this character from scratch. Not necessarily from scratch, but we are going to actually reload from the very starter file that you had for your character mesh, and you're going to apply all your templates you had saved out. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the beginning and do that. Since I've saved out all my templates, I'm just going to go ahead and go backwards from there. And if you've saved all your templates out already, you should be fine at this point. All you're going to need to do is just go ahead and create a brand new scene and re-import your character scene model. So I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new scene. So I'm going to go File, New. I don't need to save any of it because he wasn't brought over to it at all. So out of trying to do that twice, for getting the control rig built, it did not work because the unknown nodes were continuously coming up. So the ultimate solution is to completely save out your character, as if when you go back through your entire process to where he's just a character mesh. Take that character, export it as an OBJ or anything else you want to do, or save it out as a Maya ASCII file. Because what you need to do is you need to come in, and from what I found, the solution was to import, navigate to where you have your character saved out. So mine was in my external hard drive. I'm going to go into my Maya ASCII file. This was the file that I saved out where the character was back in his just character mesh stance. I could turn on my textures again. Where in my outliner, all he is just all those pieces. There's no nodes, there's pretty much no history whatsoever of this character having been skinned or anything through the animation rigging toolkit. So go down to character rig creator. We're going to run through. I do not want to save. I want to run through and load up all my templates for this character that I've been working on. It's going to bring in that proxy mesh. I want to load up my skeletal template for the positions. I'm going to go to deformation setup, create the rig pose. Yes, save out the rig pose, and do not make the proxy mesh. Let's go ahead and click on a piece somewhere and zoom in. So let's go ahead and reapply all his pieces here. I'm running into an issue, so I'll go through the outliner and do it. So I'm going to pause the video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through. I'm going to go ahead and reapply all my skin weights to this character. And when we come back, after I've loaded up all the skin weights to each and every piece, we'll go ahead and we will try and publish our character again. Okay, now that all the skin weights have been reapplied, let's go ahead and try to rebuild our control rig. Go ahead and build it. I'm going to overwrite both thumbnail. And at this point, it's now beginning to build the control rig. I am having a humongous sigh of relief that it's finally going through. This is the third time I tried it. But at this point now, this is telling you where exactly all your reference files for this character have been saved out. The most important file you want to pay attention to is this Titan export Maya binary file. Because at this point you can come in and you can edit the rig file, but usually I like to go through and I want to take a look at how my rig is working. So I'll go to add character for animation. If you come in, there's your thumbnail for where your characters were saved out as. I'm going to go ahead and add and close. And then our character is being added. And our character is now added in published into the art toolkit. And at this point, we can take the different controls and we can move them around and they work. Also, we come over to animation interface. Some of it's being cut off down here due to my screen size, but you can select these different controls through this different set here. I'll probably make another video for that because we're running on 10 minutes here with a lot of mistakes that I've been making, or a couple minutes here. But we finally hit that threshold where we actually have a character that works, and that's going to function with all the features that the animation rigging toolkit provides us. Your character can now also be very streamlined to be used into the Unreal Engine at this point. So for now, I'm going to go ahead, stop the video, and we'll come back. I'm going to give you a brief rundown of how to use this character animation rigging toolkit window. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to get our character out of Maya. We're going to give our character a pose so he looks, somewhat cool. And we're going to add it Maya. We're going to throw him into the engine. And then what should be good for this series, and then the next series I'll begin telling you how you can begin using the functionality with this and your character.